Hello ladies and gentlemen, my name is Yoshiman. Last time we actually did some generic duels and whatnot. I also changed up my deck. I actually dropped, the Gazelle, the Mythical Beast, and Baphomet combo, and also the fusion thing. And I believe I actually put an extra Giant Soldier of Stone, so it's an extra target for, Giant Rat. I also put Pot of Greed and Wall of Illusion. If I had more, Dark Monster with 1000 or less, I would have actually run Crush cards, but unfortunately I don't have these cards, or at least some, competent, Dark Monster with 1000 attack or less. Besides, Wall of Illusion and, whatchamacallit, Sangan. And this time I'm going to, go for Mako. Across the seas. Mako is actually tough. I haven't seen him much, in action very well. I want to see what he has to offer, Some two face downs. Could be a Torrential if I summon a monster. Yeah, it's a Torrential and he just wasted just like that. So actually, get myself a Surge. I think I'm going for a Beatstick monster. I think I'm going to a Giant Rat Sea Snake because he actually runs an Aqua deck or Water deck, so... And if he has Yuumi on the field, he can power up his monsters like, discard. This is actually a Beatstick. I think I'm going to Shadow Spell that monster. Just for, I think it's the more convenient play. I also have Slate Warrior, so... Let's say 1900 beater. The cards that I really want to have in my deck is actually, the cards like, for example, whatchamacallit, Zombiar the Dark. That's actually an excellent card. It's also underestimated, but it gets the job done. It says 2100 attack and 200 defense. It has at first, side effect, but it's not as bad. Or actually two side effects. When he destroys a monster on the field, he loses 200 attack. Which is kind of bad, but it's during that time it's not as bad. And he also cannot attack directly. Which basically you use Sombra just to, get over, stuff like, Giant Soldier of Stone and whatnot. And he's doing this wombo combo, which is kind of exciting. But I got myself, the 7 Tools of the Bandits. He still has Yuumi though, so yeah. I also have Jinzo. I have a lot of cards that counter him. My deck is basically, basically anti-traps. It's not like, it's this format, if you want to go for the meta, it's not a good idea to run a lot of traps. Because traps in general are slow. And this format is already slow, so yeah, it's actually slow. That's actually the good thing though. So you can actually establish your traps, but then again, there aren't as many, good traps besides, Imperial Order, whatchamacallit, and the Mirror Force and all the other staples. But yeah, it can easily get creeped by, Jinzo, Heavy Storm, Harpy's Feather Duster, MST, and whatnot. Yes, so impressed. I'm not going to give him an impression because I cannot go well for a, Seaman thing. Let's go for this pack for a change. This pack has rituals. If you want, do ritual mechanic, you can pick this deck up. If you want to play ritual decks, also this is Tarkabay. If you want to play ritual decks, you know, monsters that are basic, you know, you don't have to use a spell card to summon them. It's really advised, you know, to run cards like that search out, you know, ritual cards like Sonic Bird and Angel of the Thousand Hands. If you summon these cards, if you actually, it's actually normal summon. If you normal summon these cards, so you can actually search for these you know, ritual material cards. Not ritual material. It's just like, you know, Sonic Bird. You know, search out for whatchamacallit, the ritual spell card, while Sanju searches out for the ritual monster. And we have to, you know, duel against Esperoba and Grandpa. And Grandpa is already over there, so yeah. Hi, Billy. You're my grandson. No, that is the wrong Grandpa voice. Hi, Billy. You're my grandson, and I don't know who's that Yuki guy. He keep telling me that he's my, you know, son or my nephew. So yeah, that's basically Senile, you know, Grandpa Buto. Billy! Oh, really? I really love watching the Yu-Gi-Oh anime when I was younger. I really love, you know, the Merrick Saga. That's one of my... It's actually my favorite saga because this is when shit hits the fan. I would really recommend watching that saga, or watching, you know, the whole anime. Too bad I don't have a Trench of Tributes, because I would have activated by then. So I actually get my Witch of the Black Forest destroyed and let me look up for my, you know, cards and get myself a search. I'm a bit contemplating if I'm going to go for Copycat or Sage Warrior, because it's a bit of a gamble. Because I'm pretty sure he has cards like, you know, Trap Hole. But I actually have a Royal Decree, so it's not that bad if you activate, you know, this Trap Hole card. I can actually counter it with Royal Decree. I'm going to Royal Decree that shit, so as long as this cards remain on the face on the field, all effects of Trap Card gets negated except this one. But the downside is it also goes for your trap cards as well. So if you want to, you know, run these type of cards, you might want to make sure that you know, run as many traps in your deck. Otherwise, it's a bit clutched. But yeah, Royal Decree can be useful in some decks that doesn't run as much trap cards. It's more. It became more relevant when depending on the meta, and it's not a really bad card as of nowadays. I mean, you can side deck that card. In some decks, it's actually, you know, really good. But then again, it's if you're actually at a faster format, people tend to not use as much traps unless they are really good. Like there are much more powerful traps as of right now. Like they're much better, you know, than back then. And Imperial Order has been unbanned. It has been errata, so actually the rules of, you know, Imperial Order has changed, but even then, Imperial Order is so OP. It's such an oppressive card. It's still too powerful, in my opinion. And I actually built one Royal Decree from, you know, Duelist Saga. So yeah, so might want to run it or side deck it. in my if I happen to build a deck. Maybe it's maybe I can get a good use out of it. And basically also in the World Championships they use Imperial Order as well, which is a bit of the meta. But yeah, Imperial Order, I've also, got the pre-errata versions. I've like, from the original pack cards, from... Also, I forgot that I actually got Royal Decree on my face up on the field, so kinda screwing myself over right there. But that's no biggie. I can actually Giant Ruinate. But I also can Suicide Crash into Dark Magician. But I'm still contemplating what to do. I can actually essentially Monster Reborn. Also, I forgot that this is in defense mode, but yeah. I will crash with my Sun Skill into Dark Magician. Then my May phase 2. I'm actually going to activate Giant Ruinate to get my cards back, so I can set these cards if he happens to try some funny stuff. I didn't meant to set Royal Decree, but what else? Doesn't really matter. I still can, fend myself off with a Shadow Spell. So it's decreased. But would actually prefer Rush Recklessly over Shadow Spell because it doesn't negate a attack, which is actually good because basically what Rush Recklessly does is actually power up your monster, and it's actually a quick play card. So yeah, it actually basically is a lot better in so many cases than just Shadow Spell. But I have nothing better than this trap. But this trap also kind of works. You have also cards like Shrink or Collapse. That is also a very good quick play cards. Yeah, quick play cards are basically very good cards. You can use it for, during your turn or your opponent's turn. But you have to set it in first. Of course, you cannot play match cards from your hand. So basically, quick play cards are essentially trap cards, but better. It depends what kind of quick play card it is. Like there's a card named whatchamacallit, My Body is a Shield, and this is actually a quick play card, and you can only activate it when your monsters are about destroyed. It negates the effect of the activation that tells that that destroys your monster, and then destroy that card. So it's actually very useful against monarchs and whatnot. Monarchs are actually an archetype that basically do a lot of shit if you tribute to them. Then let's see, I'm going for this one. I want to get a... Oh, I got myself Root Geyser. Also, there's an extra pack. I keep on babbling and not dueling as much. Should we? I have a lot of things to say about Yu-Gi-Oh! I'm going to look up for Esparoba. He's somewhere around here. Yeah, there are a lot of nasty shit. And there's Esparoba, so we actually got target weak if we defeat him, at least. He's always a target. Esparoba is one of the weakest duelists in this game. He doesn't have a lot of good cards. The only good card he has is Genzo. And some mass destruction cards, and that's about it. And cards like staples like Monster Reborn, and he has a lot of junk in his deck. It's really a shame because he doesn't he doesn't get a lot of you know, praise, you know. I mean, back then there wasn't actually a reflex bounder in the game. It wasn't out until, you know, a few picks later in Dark Crisis. So yeah, he would have then used that. But now he has to, you know, rely on weaker cards. I kinda wish he actually runs, you know, cards like Mechanical Chasers as one of his staples. That would be much more interesting than just playing some random ass card. His deck is actually in random ass shit. He also has, you know, at least some decent cards like, you know, Sangan and Witch of the Black Forest, which search out stuff. Does he have Sangan in his deck? I'm not really sure if he has, but he has at least Witch of the Black Forest, which can actually search for, you know. Oh yes, he did. He actually has Sangan, so he can actually search it for this monster, which is a very bad monster. You shouldn't run these cards in your deck at all. Even though the defense is very high, but if you actually want to, you know, compete with the meta, you just use some, you know, more aggressive build decks. It's not going to benefit you if you play these base vanilla high defense monsters with level 5 or higher. Unless you want to put some nifty strategy into it. There are some nifty strategies. But even then, you can actually rely more on, you know, if you want to actually have a burn deck, stall deck, you can basically run 3 copies of, you know, Gravity Bind. Because what Gravity Bind does is actually, you know, monsters with level 4 or higher cannot attack. So it's basically, you know, stalling your opponent out. And you have also Messenger of Peace. It's a continuous spell card that's actually, you have to pay 1 of life points during your standby phase. And monsters with 15 on attack or more cannot attack. So yeah, these are actually very good stallish cards. Even though Gravity Bind isn't relevant anymore, you can more rely on, you know, Messenger of Peace than Gravity Bind, since you know, there are cards like, you know, Xyz monsters. They don't really have a level. But in this game it's actually more relevant because there are no Xyz. So yeah, basically I'm going to finish up, you know, fucking target week. We actually got this and we got ourselves, you know, the 1000 points. And normally we should actually unlock a pack by them. So there we have it. Here are the results. You've done it. I've earned my bonus. How many points do I have? 5,000, 5k. I think I'm at this point that I actually unlocked something. A pack. Let's do Seto Kaiba. Seto Kaiba is the most interesting duelist in this game. Because I love, you know, playing against somewhat relevant deck. Let's see if he can pull off his, you know, his wombo combo with, you know, Cyberstein. And I have Ball of Greed. Ball of Greed is an excellent card. It's no banned, but, you know, back in the days you can run it in every deck. What's he's going to do? Goblin attack force. I'm going to treble. Just to be a dick. Also, this is a trap card, but I can actually negate it with 7 tools. Nowadays, people would say 7 tools are for fools. People use different cards like, you know, Wiretap, which is basically does the same, except there's no calls and it actually gets shuffled back into the deck, and instead of, you know, sends it through the graveyard and destroys it. Does 7 of the tools of the Bandit destroy actually the trap cards? Or does it actually negate and send it through the graveyard? I can actually Waboku that shit. Waboku is very useful if your opponent uses Harpy's Feather Duster. So you can actually nullify, you know, the damage, the well damage. Essentially, your monsters cannot be destroyed if they nullify the damage. Let's see if it does destroy it. Yeah, it does destroy it. Okay. Sometimes you have to keep track on the semantics with, you know, these Yu-Gi-Oh cards, because there are some terms like, you know, targeting and whatnot, and it's actually very important because some monsters cannot be targeted. So yeah, so you have to really watch out for that. And some cards actually trigger when they are destroyed. Let's see. Oh yes! I actually unlocked that pack, and it's the Relinquish pack. These have actually some very good cards, like Mystical Space Typhoon, Delinquent Duo. This is actually a really good card. You can actually pay 1000 life points. You may... That sounds maybe crazy, but listen. Randomly discard one card from your opponent's hand, and then your opponent select another card from his hand. So basically your opponent goes -1. This is actually insane. We also got Bridge Frequency. We actually talked about this card before. It's actually a very good card. And we also have Malevolent Nuzzler. It's a basic ass, you know, vanilla, you know, equip cards that you actually can splash into any deck. But yeah. Also, this is another pack. Yeah, the Relinquished, you know, pack is actually very good. It has a lot of good cards, and we got ourselves the evil Dark Magician. So anyway, I hope you guys and gals enjoyed this episode. We haven't done very much. I was just, you know, rambling about, you know, cards and whatnot, but hey, I'm actually a lot of fun, you know, doing these type of videos. This is a bit of, you know, therapy for me, you know. So yeah, leave a comment or like or subscribe and do all this good stuff. And I will see you in the next one. Take care and bye bye, duelists!